Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Today we will discuss in respiratory infections the disease mumps. Mumps in Urdu is known as Kanpede. We will discuss the problem statement of mumps. What are the agent, host and environmental factors linked with mumps, that is epidemiological traits. What are the clinical features of mumps? How will you diagnose a case of mumps? And most importantly, what are the preventive and control measures of mumps? Problem statement. Mumps is a viral disease. It is caused by an RNA virus. It is an acute infectious disease caused by an RNA virus of the family Paramyxoviridae. And this virus has a predilection for glandular and nervous tissues. This disease is characterized by the enlargement of the glands and tenderness of the glands. It may be unilateral or bilateral, and this enlargement is non-suppurative. In addition to glands, other organs may also be involved. The symptoms of this disease vary, and even sometimes the symptoms may be inapparent. This disease occurs throughout the world. The disease morbidity tends to be Although the disease morbidity tends to be quite high, but mortality rate fortunately is very negligible. Natural infection with this virus is thought to confer lifelong protection. In your life, once you get a case of mumps, then you get the protection against reinfection. Agent factors. The causative agent of mumps is an RNA virus known as myxovirus parotiditis. It has only one serotype. Source of infection. Both the clinical and the subclinical cases, they are the source of infection. Generally, the subclinical cases they account for 30 to 40% of all cases, and it is the subclinical cases which are responsible for maintaining the cycle of infection. This virus can be isolated from the saliva or from the swabs taken from the surface of the Stensen's duct. In, uh, in addition to Stensen's duct, this virus has also been found in blood, urine, human milk, and on occasions in the cerebrospinal fluid. Period of communicability is usually 4 to 6 days before the onset of symptoms and a week after that. Once the swelling of the parotid gland has subsided, the cases may be regarded as non-infectious cases. They cannot transmit the disease to other persons any longer once the swelling has subsided. Secondary attack rate is estimated to be around 86%. Now we will briefly discuss the host factors. Mumps is basically the most frequent cause of parotiditis in children in the age group of 5 to 9 years. However, no age is exempt in the absence of previous immunity. But remember, this disease tends to be occur more severe in adults when compared with children. One attack of mumps gives you a lifelong immunity. Infants below the age of 6 months, they are immune because of maternal antibodies. There is only one antigenic type of the mumps virus, and it does not exhibit significant antigenic variation. Environmental factors. Mumps is largely an endemic disease. Endemic disease means this disease is always constantly present in a given community. The cases of mumps they occur throughout the year, but the highest cases occur in winter and in spring season. Probably in winter or spring there is overcrowding in a small place. Epidemics they are often associated with overcrowding. Mode of transmission, the disease is spread mainly by the droplet infection and after direct contact with an infected person. The incubation period, that is the time period between the entry of agent into body and the appearance of first sign and symptoms, varies from 2 to 4 weeks, but generally the incubation period is in the range of 14 to 18 days. Clinical features. Mumps is a generalized viral infection in quite majority of the cases, that is 30 to 40% of the cases of mumps infection. It is clinically inapparent. In clinically apparent cases, mumps is characterized by pain and swelling, either in one or both the parotid gland, but it may also involve the sublingual gland and the submandibular glands. Very often the child complains of earache on the affected side prior to the onset of swelling. There may be pain and stiffness on opening the mouth even before the swelling of the gland is evident. This virus can also affect the testis, pancreas, CNS, ovaries, and prostate. As already described, it is a generalized viral infection. In severe cases, there may be headache, fever, and other symptoms which may last for from 3 to 5 days. The swelling subsides slowly over a period of 1 to 2 weeks. This picture is showing you how a case of mumps looks like. You can see in this picture there is unilateral swelling of the parotid region. There are a number of infections which arise because of mumps infection. These include orchitis, ovaritis, pancreatitis, meningoencephalitis, thyroiditis, neuritis, hepatitis, and myocarditis. Testicular swelling and testicular tenderness, they denote the orchitis. And remember, orchitis is one of the most common extrasalivary gland manifestation of mumps in adults. There are two types of orchitis, unilateral and bilateral. Bilateral orchitis is rare and unilateral orchitis occurs in about 75% of the cases. Mumps also causes pancreatitis in children and it is the leading cause of pancreatitis in children. About 4% in 4% of the patients pancreatitis occurs. Mumps infection in the first trimester of pregnancy is associated with 25% incidence of spontaneous abortion. However, the congenital anomalies following the mumps infection in pregnancy, they are not reported. Prevention. Highly effective live attenuated vaccine is available for the prevention of mumps. A single dose of 0.5 ml intramuscularly produces detectable antibodies in 95% of the vaccinees. This vaccination is recommended for routine immunization for children over the age of 1 year, either alone or in combination with other vaccine. It may be given with MMR, measles, mumps, and rubella vaccine, or as a quadrivalent vaccine with varicella. A second dose is generally recommended for children at 4 to 6 years of age. That is just before going to school, a second dose is recommended. Since this is a live vaccine, so as with most other live versus vaccine, mumps vaccine should not be administered to pregnant women, to patients receiving immunosuppressive therapy, or those who are severely ill. Control. The control of mumps is difficult because the disease is infectious before the diagnosis can be made. Means when a child comes to you in the hospital with signs and symptoms of mumps, he has already transmitted the disease to lots of other children and the people around him. The long period, the long incubation period and the variable incubation period and the occurrence of the subclinical cases, they make the control of the spread of mumps bit difficult. but still cases should be isolated till the clinical manifestations subside, especially the swelling of the parotid gland subsides. Steps should be taken to disinfect the articles which are used by the patient, and the contacts should be kept under surveillance. Thank you.